If a pastor does not know the assignment of the ministry lead, so it means that he can never define the destiny of many members. But now if he understands now and he begins to pray that, because you are able to see the design of that ministry, maybe in their slogans. Ukisoma kwa mfano slogan ya Musili inasema ni plundering hell and setting captive free. Kwa hivyo inamaanisha kwamba if you come under that home, if you come under the house of ATG, you will come under a covering whereby ufai kuwa candidate wa Jehanamu. Number 2, haufai kuwa mateka. You are supposed to encounter deliverance. If you come to Shiloh, we are transforming life, manifesting destiny. Kwa hivyo it is a hera ukue Shiloh worship ministry and then you never get transformed. Number 2, your destiny remains covered. Itamaanisha kwamba number 1, you never fully subscribe to where we live. Number 2, you never took what we believe in into account and began to walk by our beliefs. Number 3, you never investigated what is the economy that produces transformation and manifestation. If you understand what Shiloh Worship Ministry preaches, which brings transformation and manifestation, what you are going to do as a member is you are going to commit yourself to that. When you commit yourself to that, within time, without effort, you will find yourself in a place whereby your life has totally been transformed, consciously or unconsciously. And within no time, you will discover your destiny will manifest. Many people, when they join a church, for example, they never investigate the economy of that ministry. And because, you see, every assignment has a consecration or has a demand upon it. Or every profession or every family, it has the way it lives. Kuna kila familia, kuna vile inaishi. Jana nimeona kwa runinga, Wakikuyu walikuwa Thika wakitairi watoto na wakaifanya Kikikuyu, na wakasema kwa hiyo kutairi yao hiyo, kuna watu wafai kutairiwa hapo, kuna mtu hafai kuingia, hata kama anataka kutairiwa hafai yaingilie hiyo. Akasema tu ni Wamasai na Wameru wanaweza ingizwa kwa hiyo, au watu wengine waesi wakaelewana na wao kwa hiyo. Bwana sifiwe sana. I don't like what they said and what they are doing, because you cannot take people back into 19th nonsense and in the name of culture and all that. But now I want you to understand something. There is an economy to that. So when you belong to a house, you know the challenge that I've found with many born again, they belong to nowhere. Watu wengi ambao unaona wanasema wameokoka, they belong to nowhere. That is, they go to a church according to convenience. And that is why many people, they are never managed to drink from a foundation. Number 2, they never become heirs. They are not heirs of any unction. They are not heirs of an anointing. They are not heirs of any grace. Ile kitu unaona kwa maisha yao ni ile inaanguka. Ule mama alienda kwa Yesu na akamwambia Yesu, mtoto wangu anaanguka, mtoto wangu anapatwa na shida, mtoto wangu anakuwa na ile shida na ile shida. Na Yesu akamwambia kwamba chakula iliyo hapa ni ya watoto peke yao. Ningependa uelewe the inheritance of the unction of God upon Shiloh Worship Ministry is only for children of this ministry. If you, kama mtu atakuja na awe mwana, definitely atakuwa murithi. Lakini ule mtu ambaye ni wa kutembea, kile atatoka nacho hapa ni vipawa. Yesu alimwambia, ule mwanamke alimwambia Yesu, ataumbwa inakulanga makobo. Kwa hivyo kwa kila meza ya mfalme kuna vitu inaangukanga chini, na hiyo ndio mtu atapata. So because of grace, somebody anaweza kuwa na testimony ya kwamba I came to this church, I was sick and I was healed. Hiyo ni healing ilikuwa available, lakini mtu hakuichukua ikaanguka chini, na wewe maana ulikuwa desperate ukaokota. Bwana sifiwe sana. And you went on with the testimony, and you can even bring a lot of people to Shiloh, but what you will find by the end of the day, utapata ya kwamba there is no reciprocation of the grace of God upon the altar in your head. There were many people who followed Jesus, but only 12 became his disciples. And because they became the disciples of Jesus, they fully belong to the church of Jesus Christ. After 3 years, they were full walking in power. They were reciprocal of Jesus. That's why the people that saw them, they called them disciples. They called them Christians. They said these people, they are like Christ. Am I talking to somebody? Are you getting me? I want you to understand it, please. I beg you by the mercies of God. If you don't capture it, what will happen is that you will never operate. We will pray for you. We will lay hands upon you, but the inheritance will reject you. Praise the name of the living God. You see, Isaac was a son of Abraham. And Isaac being a son of Abraham, there is one thing he never told Isaac: the consecration of his wealth, the demand upon his prosperity. He never told him that. He never told him that what you are seeing me with, what you are seeing me walking, there is a consecration. So he never taught him, but he gave him the wealth. Alimpatia utajiri na akamwambia, mtoto wangu wenda. Wale wana wa masulia aliwapatia vipawa. Kwa hivyo kwa kanisa kuna kuanga na wana wa masulia, watu ambao kama pastor tunazaa tu huku, ni watoto wa kiroho lakini tunazaa tu huku, wataenda mbinguni. Maana tunaona Ismaili kabisa ni mwana wa Ibrahimu na anatembea na utajiri na baraka za Ibrahimu, lakini utapata hatima yao iko na changamoto. Bwana sifiwe sana. Wana wa masulia ni vipawa tu walipata, lakini wale wana halisi, ule mwana halisi alipewa. Na makosa ya mwana ni kutoelewa the consecration of his father's wealth. So because when Isaac received inheritance, he began to chop it. Isaka alipopokea utajiri alianza kula, alianza kuenjoy. Na maandiko nasema Genesis chapter number 26, na kukakuja kiangazi kama ile ilikuwa wakati wa baba yake. And by this time Isaac had not raised altars. He didn't have altars. He had not subscribed. So the wealth of Abraham that Isaac took was not being fed. Haikuwa inalishwa, ilikuwa imekonda. The spiritual unction that makes Abraham rich, that made Abraham prosperous, ilikuwa haina nguvu. And when God comes to Isaac, he tells him, now you need to sow in Genesis chapter number 12. And he sows, and because God was with him and it was under divine counsel, he harvested. And then when you continue to study, is when you discover now Isaac is like he wakes up and he begins to raise altars. So for example, if you are a member of Shiloh, there's one thing you must ascribe. You must ascribe to prayer. You can never inherit. Uwezi ukakuwa murithi wa neema ya Mungu iliyo Shiloh kama you are not a prayerful. Number one. You can never. Because that is a requirement of our commission. Uwezi ukapokea, utapokea hizi baraka, nilipata kazi, nilipata promotion. Hizo ni vipawa. You cannot receive the real deal. Bwana sifiwe sana. You cannot operate in this unction if you don't subscribe to prayer. Number one. One of our thing in this message, and if you study well, you discover is like prayer is something we can never be separated from. Whether there is a need to be prayed for or there is not a need, there is prayer being made. Why? Because you can never. Number two is commission to the word of God. It is, you know, it is our statement, our mission says that we transform sinners to saints. And when we transform them sinners to saints, by that they manifest. How do you manifest if you don't have power? How do you manifest if you don't know the credentials, the secret of manifestations? So, when you become a family member, you become a heir. And And here it means that you be totally founded on the foundation of that commission. Utakuwa